9 years and 9 months later, on December 19th, 2018, the same pyramid-shaped object
Look up, man!
was observed and recorded by at least 4 witnesses from 3 different locations, hovering very close to the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. How could a pyramid hover in the airspace above the 2 most sensitive and secure political, military establishments on this planet? If real, these 2 cases could be amongst the most significant events in the history of unidentified aerial phenomena. The implications are extraordinary and raise many questions. Alex was one of the witnesses from that night.
I saw something hovering over the Pentagon, far away. I didn't understand what is this. It was a black, big object. I tried to film it with my iPhone, but it didn't see it. It was just pitch black skies. But with my camera, Nikon, I could make some shots. And so that's the story. But my wife became really scared. She asked me, come on, go away. We should not be here. Well, basically I was afraid too, because I didn't know what is this.
He was working on a photography project around 4 in the morning at Arlington National Cemetery when he captured this video. Alex estimated the size of this tetrahedron-shaped object to the best of his abilities, which was somewhere between 300 to 600 feet at the base. 2 other witnesses also recorded the incident. Richard and Nick were at a party that night with friends. Around 4 in the morning, they were driving in a taxi when they observed a large object floating above the Pentagon.
Look up, man!
They thought it was a joke or a hologram. However, they decided to drive around the area several times to take a closer look at what was in the sky. These are the remarkable images they captured.
So my first reaction was, this is very strange. My second reaction was, we've got to record this. And my third reaction was, why is it just around the Pentagon? Why did I never see anything like this before, and why am I only seeing it now? And yeah, that was it in Pentagon, early in the morning, not too many people around. And my first reaction was, what the hell is this?
I work in the music industry, so I've seen a lot of light shows, but this is the Pentagon. You know, it's not my house or your house, it's not somebody's neighborhood, it's the Pentagon. So when you see this, my first reaction was, oh, it's got to be a joke. But then I thought it can't be a joke because it's 4 in the morning. Who's going to do a joke, and why? You do a joke because you do a joke because you want people to see. You don't do a joke at 4 in the morning. So, but I try not to believe in anything strange. So I don't know. I don't know what the purpose was of this. I don't know.
The second video of the object was recorded a few minutes later, very close to the Pentagon, as they were traveling under Interstate 395. They eventually had to exit on Washington South Boulevard to avoid reaching the Pentagon's restricted area. The Pentagon is one of the most highly secure institutions on the planet. Why there? Was it a warning? Was it a message? Was it a communication attempt? And why over the Kremlin and the Pentagon, in the 2 countries with the greatest nuclear power in the world?
We have another witness, Farouk. Farouk comes from the Middle East. Farouk is married to an American woman. He was walking his dog 3 o'clock in the morning at the Air Force Monument. From there, he saw it. And this witness, Farouk, is the first one who was able to record it with a cell phone.
And I was squinting because it was very difficult to see because there were a few clouds in the sky, but I could make out the shape of a pyramid. There's a three-sided pyramid. The bottom of the pyramid was lighter than the sides, and it was rotating on its own axis. It was floating. So it wasn't moving left or right, up and down, it's just rotating on its own axis, like above the Pentagon. So I took out my mobile because I was very surprised, of course. So I was like, wow, what the hell is that? So I took out my mobile and I tried to film it.
The image is good. You can see it's further away. You can see the pyramid is smaller. You can see the river, the Potomac River. You can see one airplane coming down and probably landing at the National Airport in Washington. You have so many details in this last video. They recorded this with a camera. We have 4 different videos recorded from 4 different angles. These people don't know each other. They were in different activities. I mean, this is the most important sighting in the history of UFOs. And considering this is a hologram, would you do a hologram above the Pentagon? What could happen to you? Could they accuse you of terrorism? Could they put you in jail for years just because you did a hologram? And again, the holograms don't reflect the lights from the city. You know, a hologram, you can see through them. Even though they are good, the holograms, you see through them.
Here we have this large pyramidal structure that's all black. It's got this really low reflective surface to it, and it's just sort of hovering there and moving around in this circuitous pattern. And the witnesses that are seeing this thing, they can't believe their eyes. It's absolutely shocking.
I've been journalist, investigative reporter for 50 years. And what really convinced me about these 2 cases being real is that in every one of those cases, there were more than one witness, more than one video. I was the only one who has approach to the witnesses in Russia and in the United States. They were surprised. They never thought that this was a UFO. They thought it was something else until I made them think that this was probably something extraordinary.
When you look at all the events going around, these 2 separate UAP incidents over the symbols of world power and force, these are the extraterrestrials sending us the signal to say, we know you have advanced technologies, and you really need to go the way of peace.
I think the takeaway message is that we are watching you. We are maintaining stability on your actions, and we may interfere again, depending on what kinds of missiles are being sent over what types of countries in the future. And so I think that's a good message. I think it's a very positive message. And I say missiles interfered with, missiles stopped. My first thought is benevolent alien visitors, interference with this in a good, positive way. That's what I see.
I think it's so important, this case. It's even more important than Roswell. This is the most important case ever because it involves the Kremlin, involves the Pentagon, involves a huge UFO that was there not just for a few seconds and sending a clear message. No one is talking about this. Why not? This case needs to be investigated, needs to be presented to the American public, needs to be really find out what the hell means this.
The events that occurred on December 9, 2009 above the Kremlin and on December 19, 2018 over the Pentagon may be related to the safety and security of the world. As world tensions escalate and nations race to levels of military technology we have not seen for decades, Is it conceivable that we might find ourselves facing the possibility of a warlike conflict of great proportions? Might the pyramids appearing over the two most outstanding symbols of power on the planet be a message for humanity? Is it possible their presence suggests more than ever humanity must evolve, lift our eyes to the sky, and create the peaceful future awaiting us?